Hey everybody. We're now looking at the planets that make up the solar system. So I said before that there are 8 planets in our solar system, and they all orbit around our sun, which is the star in the middle of the solar system. So here's a new diagram, and this is actually a side-on view of the solar system. So remember, the solar system is shaped like a disk, and if we look at the disk from the side, we can compare the sizes of all the planets. So here, the planets actually are to scale, and the sun is as well. That's why you can't see most of it. But the distances between each of the planets, they're not to scale at all. So you can see here, the distance between these two planets would be much, much bigger in the proper solar system. And that's because space is really huge and really empty. Most of the solar system is empty space. So the distances are not to scale here. Okay, well, if we are going to learn more about the solar system, you need to be able to name all the planets in the right order. And we normally name them starting from the closest to the sun. So here's the sun, and you can see it is the biggest object in the solar system by far. And then we have 4 small planets to start it off. So the first planet here, closest to the sun, is Mercury. Then we've got the second planet here, which is a little bit bigger than Mercury, and it's Venus. The third planet, that is us. So Earth's the third planet from the sun. Then the fourth planet is Mars. That's the most likely planet that we'll be able to send astronauts to in the next few decades. Maybe even starting a space base where people could live on Mars. Okay, then we have the 4 larger planets, and Jupiter is the 5th planet, and it's actually the largest of all the planets. So it's the second biggest object in the solar system behind the sun. Okay, Jupiter. Then we have the planet with rings that most people recognize, which is Saturn. Then the 7th planet is Uranus. And the 8th planet is Neptune. So if people tell you that Pluto is a planet, Pluto is not a planet. It's a dwarf planet, and we'll learn about that later. So there are only 8 planets in our solar system. Alright, and here's a better view of the size of the sun compared to all the other planets. So you can see how big the sun is. Even compared to Jupiter, which is the biggest planet, the sun is way bigger. It looks like about 12 Jupiters would fit across the diameter of the sun here. So in terms of how heavy and how massive the sun is the biggest thing by far. Okay, so there's the planets in our solar system.